Large steering gears come in rotary vane and Rapson slide types. The rotary vane type operates as follows. Hydraulic pressure from the vane pump installed on the pump unit is conveyed via a control valve to the rotor housing. The rotary housing interior is divided into the port side and starboard side hydraulic oil chambers. For example, when turning to the port side, oil is fed into the port side hydraulic oil chamber. Here is a list of parts and seals for the actuator bottom. Let's look at parts and the structure of the rotary vane type steering gear as we assemble it. First, insert the rotor. Insert vertical seals for vanes. Insert seals for segments. Insert cover sealing rubber. Insert plate springs into vertical seals for vanes. Insert horizontal seals for vanes. Insert plate springs into vertical seals for segments. Restore the cover. Insert the rod seal. Insert sealing rubber for the gland. Put the gland seal in place. Attach the defensive valve. Attach the rudder angle indicator. Connect the pump unit to the steering gear. Bleed the steering gear of air before starting operation. Give it a test run. Confirm turning of the rotor with the rudder angle indicator. The following are typical cases of trouble with rotary vane type steering gears. Hydraulic oil leakage from the gland seal, hydraulic oil leakage from the lower seal, and wear of leakage oil seals. The following precautions must be taken when operating rotary vane type steering gears. Check abnormal sounds, vibrations, overheating, oil temperatures, and leakage. Changes in the oil amount. The motor's current values and fluctuations. The hydraulic pump's discharge pressures and fluctuations. Regular inspections of system oil properties. Regular inspections of the return filter. And confirmation of grease supply conditions for the gland seal. Rapson slide-type steering gear drives the cylinder ram with hydraulic pressures from pump units. It moves the ram to the right and left by synchronizing hydraulic pressures from the pair of right and left pump units. Since a tiller, which uses the steering shaft as its rotation axis, is in contact with the ram pin, the steering shaft rotates as the ram moves right and left. Here, we have reproduced the ram movement using a test machine. This is a schematic diagram of a 2-ram, 4-cylinder Rapson slide-type steering gear. You can see pressure oil being sent from the hydraulic pump in the pump unit. The torque motor is controlled by steering angle deviation signals given by the steering stand. It delivers pressure oil to specified hydraulic cylinders, thereby moving the ram and rotating the steering shaft. The Rapson slide type comes in the following models. The following cases of trouble have been reported. Switching failure of solenoid valves in the hydraulic circuit, oil leakage from the ram's gland packing, and coming off of the ram pin. The following precautions must be taken when operating Rapson slide-type steering gears. Check abnormal sounds, vibrations, overheating, oil temperatures, and leakage. The oil amount and changes. The motor's current values and fluctuations. The hydraulic pump's discharge pressures and fluctuations. Regular inspections of system oil properties, and regular cleaning of the suction strainer. Hydraulic pumps and motors are vital components used to drive steering gears and mooring equipment. Screen shows the model of the bent axis type variable displacement axial piston pump for steering gears and consists of the following parts: the drive shaft, cylinder, roller bearing, valve plate, oil seal, and so forth. The cylinder block rotates as the drive shaft turns. When the rotating cylinder block is inclined toward the drive shaft core, the piston makes a reciprocal motion inside the cylinder per rotation of the cylinder block, thereby drawing in and discharging oil. This pump is of a variable displacement type and is able to change the cylinder's tilt angles. When used with steering gears, it is incorporated in the oil tank. The swash plate type axial piston pump for hydraulic deck machinery consists of the following main parts: the drive shaft, cylinder block, piston, tilting box, swash plate shaft, and valve plate. Used as hydraulic pumps for deck machinery, this type of pump has a piston whose direction of motion is in parallel with the cylinder block's rotation shaft core. As the tilting box tilts, each piston makes a reciprocal motion within the cylinder each time the cylinder block makes a rotation, thereby drawing in and expelling the liquid. The following cases of trouble have been reported: wear of the pump regulator, and oil leakage due to damaged oil seal. The following precautions must be taken when operating hydraulic pumps. Check for oil leakage from parts. Look for a significant rise in oil temperatures. Inspect oil properties regularly. Listen for abnormal sounds heard during operation. And inspect the magnet strainers in pipes regularly. The hydraulic motor for deck machinery use has a part structure as follows. The casing has cylinders in the radial direction, and the flange part is provided to secure oil passages to the cylinders and to fix the motor. The valve housing is fixed with bolts across a spacer in which a valve spool rotates. The crankshaft is supported by two taper roller bearings, the other end of it being connected to the output shaft. With this hydraulic motor, A and B ports are provided to serve as the inlet for high-pressure hydraulic oil or the tank-connected outlet for the oil. The motor's rotational direction is determined by which port the hydraulic oil is sent. When hydraulic oil is sent to A port, hydraulic pressure is applied to the upper part of the piston and generates a force to push down the piston, allowing the crankshaft to rotate. The valve spool, which is connected to the cross coupling, rotates accordingly. Then, the oil feeding port positions change, allowing the hydraulic pressure to be applied to the next cylinder in the rotational direction. Port positions for discharge change likewise. Repetition of these motions keeps the crankshaft rotating. The following cases of trouble have been reported: cracking of the cylinder block, oil leakage and damage to the oil seal, and foreign matter contaminating the hydraulic oil. The following precautions must be taken when operating hydraulic motors. Conduct regular inspections of oil properties. Watch out for oil leakage. Make sure to conduct complete flushing after repairs. And operate the motor very carefully in cases where the handle must be abruptly manipulated or the operator can lose control due to stormy weather or other unexpected external factors. To properly operate and manage onboard auxiliary machinery, it is essential that you fully understand and grasp machine structures by reading maker-provided instruction manuals and referring to trouble case studies. You are also advised to prepare for maintenance plans well in advance by making inquiries with the manufacturer if specific operational conditions lead you to suspect trouble may